Hello friends, welcome to study class 11. Today I am going to read the chapter The Summer of Beautiful White Horse. Since it is a very long chapter, I am going to divide it into a part. So this is of part 1 and tomorrow I will upload part 2. So let's start. One day back there in the good old days when I was 9 and the world was full of every imaginable kind of magnificence and life was still a delightful and mysterious dream. My cousin Murad, who was considered crazy by everybody who knew him except me, came to my house at 4 in the morning and woke me up tapping on the window of my room. Arams, he said. I jumped out of bed and looked out of the window. I couldn't believe what I saw. It wasn't morning yet, but it was summer, and with daybreak not many minutes around the corner of the world, it was light enough for me to know I wasn't dreaming. My cousin Murad was sitting on a beautiful white horse. I stuck my head out of the window and rubbed my eyes. Yes, he said in Aramnian. It's a horse. You are not dreaming. Make it quick if you want to ride. I knew my cousin Murad enjoyed being alive more than anybody else who had ever fallen into the world by mistake, but this was more than even I couldn't believe. It in the first place, my earliest memories had been memories of horses, and my first longings had been longings to ride. This was the wonderful part. In the second place, we were poor. This was the part that wouldn't permit me to believe what I saw. We were poor. We had no money. Our whole tribe was poverty stricken. Every branch of the Garogalian family was living in the most amazing and comical poverty in the world. Nobody would understand where we ever money enough to keep us with food in our bellies, not even the old man of the family. Most important of all, though, we were famous of our honesty. We had been famous for our honesty for something like 11 centuries, even when we had been the wealthiest family in what we liked to think was the world. We were proud first, honest next, and after that we believed in right and wrong. None of us would take advantage of anybody in the world, let alone steal. Consequently, even though I could see the horse so magnificent, even though I could smell it so lovely, even though had anything to do with my cousin Murad or with me or with any kind of other members of our family, ask asleep or awake, because I knew my cousin Murad couldn't have bought the horse, and if he couldn't have bought it, he must have stolen it, and I refused to believe he had stolen it. No member of the Garogalian family could be a thief. I started first at my cousin and then at the horse. There was a pure stillness and humor in each of them, which no one hand delighted me and on the other frightened me. Murad, I said, where did you steal this horse? Leap out of the window, he said, if you want to ride. It was true then. He had stolen the horse. There was no questions about it. He had come to invite me to ride or not, as I chose. Well, it seemed to stealing a horse for a ride was not the same thing as stealing something else, such as money. For all I knew, maybe it wasn't stealing at all. If you were crazy about horses, the way my cousin Murad and I were, it wasn't stealing. It wouldn't believe stealing until we offered to sell the horse, which of course I knew we would never do. Let me put on some clothes, I said. All right, he said, but hurry. I leaped into my clothes. I jumped down to the yard from the window and leaped up onto the horse behind my cousin Murad. The That year, we lived at the edge of town. On Walnut Avenue behind our house was the country, vineyards, orchards, irrigation ditches, and country roads. In less than 3 minutes, we were on Olive Avenue, and then the horse began to roar. The air was new and lovely to breathe. The feel of horse running was wonderful. My cousin Murat, who was considered one of the craziest members of our family, began to sing. He began to roar. Every family has a crazy stick in it somewhere, and my cousin Murad was considered the natural descendant of the crazy stick in our tribe. Before him was our uncle Khusraw, an enormous man with a powerful head of black hair and the largest mustache in the San Joaquin Valley. A man so furious in temper, so irritable, so impatient that he stopped anyone from talking by roaring. It is no harm, pay no attention to it. That was all, no matter what anybody happened to the talking about. Once it has shown Arak, running 8 blocks to the barber shop where his father was having his mustache trimmed to tell him their house was on fire. This man, Khusraw, sat up in the chair and roared, "It is no harm, pay no attention to it." The barber said, "But the boy said, your house is in fire." So Khusraw roared, "Even enough, it is no harm, I say." My cousin Murad was considered the natural descendant of this man, although Murad's father was Zorab, who was practical and nothing else. That's how it was in our tribe. A man could be the father of his son's flesh, but that did not mean that he was also the father of the spirit. The distribution of the various kinds of spirit of our tribe had been from the beginning capricious and vagrant. We rode and my cousin Murad sang. For all anybody knew, we were still in the old country where, at least according to some of our neighbors, we belonged. We let the horse run as long as it felt like running. At last, my cousin Murad said, "Get down, I want to ride alone." "Well, will you let me ride alone?" I asked. "That is up to the horse," my cousin said. "Get down, the horse will let me ride," I said. "We shall see," he said. "Don't forget that I have a way with a horse." "Well," I said, "anyway you have with a horse, I have also." "Well, for the sake of your safety," he said. "Let us hope so. Get down." "All right," I said, "but remember you have got to let me try to ride alone." I got down, and my cousin Murad kicked his heels into the horse and shouted, "Vizari, run!" The horse stood in its hind legs, snorted, and burst into a fury of speed that was the loveliest thing I have ever seen. So as you can see, it tells about the two boys and how they get to know about the horse and so on. So in part 2 we will read the remaining parts of this chapter. If you like my video, please subscribe, like, comment and share this video to your friends. Hope you will enjoy it. Thank you very much.